Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In the last video, we learned how to create a SharePoint site. In this video, I will show you how to create a SharePoint list step by step. First, open your SharePoint site where you want to create the list. Make sure you have a edit permissions on the site. On the site home page, click on the create button at the top. You will now see the different options to create a list. Click on the list. For now, I will select blank list, start from the scratch. Enter a meaningful name for your list. Optionally, add the short description so users understand its purpose of the create. So I'm just giving the name called as ABC list and click on create button here. So show the list in site navigation. It shows that your site navigation to navigate directly to this list. Click on create now. So once we can create the list, so the list will be open like this. So the list name called as ABC. The list is created with the default title column. Now let's add more columns based on our requirements. So we have an option called add column here. So we can click on add column and choose the column type. You see that multiple options here. What is a column we want to be created? So you want to be created a text or choice or date or person column. So once we select, let's say for example, I'm selecting a text. Text is nothing but it is so it is allows to that value for this column that any text, like you can enter from alphabets, numbers, special characters, anything. So you can click on next. It will ask you that name. So we can give the name of the column. So let's say I'm just giving a name. It's going to be ABC name. So the column name is ABC name and description is optional here. Type is going to be single line of text. So type is equals to single line of text. It's showing by default as we have selected as a text there. So we also have a differentiated between single line of text if you want it or multi lines of text. See, single line of text, it shows the we can allow to that the maximum 255 characters. And if you want to be add more characters to be allowed in this column, you just go to the multi lines of text. Let's say for example you want to be address column or comments or else any description, then you can go with the multi lines of text. So if you have a name or something, so you just use to that single line of text because the characters should not be more than 255 characters. So and if you want to enter any default value, when you click on a new item, it will automatically the default value comes. If you required, you can add this default value, and after that also while adding a new item you can change it as well. So if you don't require, this is an optional again, so we can make that, leave it blank, and then we can click on save. And also we have more options here. You see that by default the maximum number of characters is 255 because we selected as a single line of text. And we have a required that this column contains an information. No, that means while trying to add an item into this list, this column is not mandatory right now. If you want to mandatory, make it as S. But now I'm taking as no. Enforce unique values. This column will allow duplicates also now, but you want to be intent to maintain that like unique values, then make it as S. and this column will be added into the all the content types, and click on save. So that means I'm creating a column now into this list. You see my column is created, and you can click on add new item. You see that the default column title, and then ABC name and attachment. So here I can say test title and test name, and if you need any attachment we can add it, and click on save. Now see the values for this, and we can click on add new item again. You can add items more and more, and it will be saved into that your list. So when we create a list, by default these forms will be available, like adding a new item and editing the existing item. So this is an edit form again, and you can also view this, right? So these forms by default it will comes. You don't want to be any develop using a code or something. If you want to add more columns, you can see, you can enter. Let's say for example I want to be add a choice, so I can add a choice column and column name. So I'm just giving ABC choice. This name is user defined, you can give anything. Description, it's optional again. Test choices, and this choices you can add. It's showing the default choice 1, choice 2, choice 3. You can add, you can change as well. So let's say A1, I'm just giving A2, and just giving A3, and also add more choices as well. A4. See, I have given a choices now, and so we can add values manually. If you select this, the user doesn't want to be any choice to need to select, and he has to be enter manually. Then the text box will be open in the below. He can enter as well. So right now I'm not selecting this, and I'm not selecting default choice should be selected. And so the more options similar to that what we have discussed, if it is drop down menu, and choices also there is a two types. So one is going to be drop down, another one is going to be radio button. Drop down is going to be you're selecting, like for example you have more options, like more than 2 or 3 options, better to take a drop down, because radio button should choose radio button, it will be occupying the complete page. If you 2 or 3 you can go to the radio button, or more you can go to the drop down. So allow multiple selections. If you are going to be drop down and checking multiple options, like example the hobbies can be selected more than one, languages more than one we can select it. So in that time you can select multiple selections. And required that this column contains information we discussed, if it is required. And if you want to maintain unique values we can say yes. So I'm not selecting all these things, I'm clicking on save. So I'm created one more column now. So you see that ABC choice again. When we click on add new item, you see that title column, ABC name, ABC choice column, so you can select it. So let me give that test 2, test name 2, and choice I can select A2, and then save it. You see, so I have created one more item like this, and so we can keep adding into that items into this list, and can be accessed it. And also you see that there is a navigation created for this. If you go to the home page, and you can see that ABC list here, your list will be opened. To make this list easier to use, you can create a views. Click on see, by default view is going to be an all items view. If you want to be create new view, we have an option called add view. So here you can give a name of the view and select which template you want. I'm selecting by default as a list. So here we give the view name. I'm just giving a view name called as ABC list and create. So that means it's create a new view as a ABC list, and by default columns order and columns will be selected as a from the default view. So now if you want to edit this view, we just go to that edit current view. Here you can change your view settings, like if you want to add more columns, like say for example I'm selecting created by, and also I want to select as an ID I can change order to be position 1, and we have an other options as well. If you want to make it as a sort for any column, we can select it, and also we have a filters, and also we have a other options, like we can we have a group by, totals, sort and folders and all the things. We can make changes, all the things whatever required as per your requirement, and click on OK. So that means once click on OK, your changes will be saved for this view, and you see that ABC list, and I have selected as an ID as a first position, and also created by column is added into this view. So those changes will be applicable now. So once everything looks good, so we can now share this list with your team and start using it for collaboration. So that's it. This is how you create a SharePoint list step by step. And next video we are going to be discuss about how to create a document library, and purpose of the document library we can understand. That's all for now. If you found it useful, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. In the next video, we will explore SharePoint libraries. Thanks for watching.